Good evening, everybody. We welcome you inside the Delaware Fairgrounds Center Ice Arena for tonight's contest between the visiting Carolina Thunderbirds and the Delaware Thunder. 15th all-time meeting between these two hockey teams. 12 wins, 1 overtime win, and a regulation loss. The record favors the visiting Thunderbirds. Thanks so much for being with us, everybody. My name is Dylan Clark. Carolina's first trip up to Delaware so far this season, their first trip in quite some time, and both of these teams looking to pile up the points here as we get further into the season through the month of October and into November. Carolina splitting its opening weekend series last week against the Port Huron Prowlers, a 4-3 regulation loss, and then on Saturday night a 5-4 overtime win. Lucas Rowe scoring not only his first career FPHL goal with the lacrosse-style goal, but also the overtime winner as well. Mario Cavalieri getting his first professional win as well, the youngster between the pipes for Carolina. He's on the shelf tonight, or at least on the bench. He'll be backing up Boris Babic. We'll get into the starting goaltenders a little bit more in a little while here. The Delaware Thunder, who are looking to hit the ice here in a few moments, are looking to rebound after a rocky start of their own. Back-to-back losses in Danbury against the Hat-Tricks. Some pretty tough ones as well. A 5-3 loss last Friday night, and then following that one with a 12-5 performance, they fall to the Hat-Tricks and let up a combined 17 goals on the weekend. So a Delaware team that has taken its fair share of knocks over the last few seasons. This is their third season of competition in the Federal Prospects Hockey League. This is their home opener here tonight in front of these fans. So they're looking to put a little bit more steam here back into this building and into this team and trying to get a more favorable start. Delaware has had 2 home openers in its history. Their inaugural season back in 2019-20, which of course, as we all know at this point, was cut short at the time. Lost a 5-2 opening night round, or an opening night bout to the Columbus River Dragons back in October of 2019. Did not play in the shortened 2021 season, and opened last year's campaign a 6-4 loss to the Binghamton Black Bears, who at that time were the new kids on the block. That's how Delaware opened its season at home. So the Thunder been kind of punched in the nose here as of late, especially in home openers. They look to kind of flip the script there. They've got a lot of new faces coming into the lineup. They've got some old faces coming back as well, as both of those different sects of players begin to hit the ice. Alex Basie is expected to be back in the lineup after a brief loan to the Knoxville Ice Bears. And across the ice from him, Lucas Rowe was briefly called up from the Thunderbirds to the Ice Bears. He was there for only a few days and came right back to Carolina, so he's back in the lineup for the Thunderbirds here tonight. And Delaware, again, looking to start off strong here at home. Alex Basie, one of the big names coming back. J.C. Moritz, another familiar face, that'll be back in the lineup this season for the Delaware Thunder. Alex Susi, he's going to be wearing number 18 for Delaware this season, as opposed to the number 9 he wore in last year's campaign. The goaltending is going to be completely different here for the Delaware Thunder. Gone are the days of Trevor Babbitt, who had become kind of one of the franchise icons here in Delaware, the leader in games played between the pipes for the Thunder. Trevor Martin, the WHL alumni, played 83 games in the Western Hockey League for Saskatoon, Red Deer, and Calgary. A 3.45 career goals against average and an .890 save percentage through his time in the Dub. The Andrewson, Alberta native, he has gotten the 2 starts this season so far. Throw him in the net again. It would be a busy start to the season for the 26-year-old. Makar Sokolov, the 21-year-old out of Russia. .921 save percentage through 11 games played last year in Omsk, Russia with his U18 team. He got thrown in for the third period against Danbury the other night, made 13 stops on 15 shots. So we will see what kind of action we will see in the Delaware goal crease. Will it be Trevor Martin, the WHL alum, or Makar Sokolov, the 21-year-old Russian, about whom we don't know particularly much? Some of these players coming from especially the Eastern European countries, when you take a look at the Elite Prospects, which is the hockey database that is kind of the industry standard here to try and get some information on these players, when they come from distances and places like that, there's not a ton of information available to them. And the same can be said of Carolina's likely starter tonight, Boris Babic, won goaltender of the year in Turkey with Istanbul Balıkesir here. Don't know his exact stats. We know he won 15 hockey games, but his save percentage and goals against are kind of a mystery. But conventional wisdom would say they had to be pretty darn good to win goaltender of the year. Carolina and Delaware, 15th meeting all time goes down here tonight. We're going to step aside for a brief moment. The national anthem is next, and then puck drop. National anthem has been sung. Starting lineups have been announced. We're just about set to get underway here in Delaware. Carolina in the red uniforms. Delaware in their brand spanking new black and whites. A FPHL take on the New Jersey Devils alternate jerseys that they brought in, I'd like to say, a year or two ago. Boris Babic, as we get into our Pine Hall Brick starting goaltenders of the night. Babic in the cage, 6'2", 192 pounds, 25 years old, out of Dolny Kubin, Slovakia. Joined Carolina just before training camp began. One of two new goaltenders in the stable this season for head coach Garrett Rutledge, who is in his second year behind the bench for the Thunderbirds. Mario Cavalieri is backing him up here tonight. And across from him, it will be Trevor Martin, making his third consecutive start here for the Delaware Thunder. 6'2", 181 pounds, 26 years old, out of Andrewson, Alberta. He's 0-2 to start his FPHL career with a 9.0 goals against average, .850 save percentage. He's got some numbers that he would certainly like to improve here tonight. He's got a clean slate, though. 20 minutes on the clock, period number 1 up on the board here. Gus Ford starts out with John Batita and Dawson Baker on his wings. Yuri Peshtuka and Viktor Grebenikov across the blue line here for Carolina. It will be the Houston Wilson line starting out here for the Delaware Thunder. A little bit of extra instruction. Wilson and Ford, the opening draw. Pucks down, we're underway. Thanks so much for being with us, everybody, from Delaware. Peshtuka hops on the loose puck at the red line. Scoots it up for Gus Ford. Chip back in. He set a couple of records last season offensively for Carolina. Grebenikov, a point shot, goes wide. Dawson Baker quickly after this one up the near side. Alex Susi lays this one back on for Wilson as he chugs through center. Puck up in the air. A collision through a handful of players. Susi gets knocked down to the ice as the puck rolls into the far side corner. Delaware attacking zone. Grebennikov shuts that one down and finds Gus Ford with the outlet pass. Thunderbirds come back with speed, 3-on-2. Drop pass for Baker. Wrist shot knocked down on its way, partially blocked. Batita the turning shot, and that follow-up chance stopped by Trevor Martin. He's tested for the first time, and he makes the save. 43 seconds gone in this first period. Brought to you by our friends over at First Bank. It'll be an offensive zone face-off here for the Thunderbirds. Bringing up that second line, Lucas Rowe. Back in the lineup, looking to add to his already impressive highlight reel. Flanked by Pringle and Josh Keplinger, who's in his second stint of Carolina action. Puck rolls along the far side wall. Dennis Gafarov, one of the new guys here for the Delaware Thunder. Motors on across the red line. Down the left side, Gafarov driving wide on Firth. He's drawn a penalty, delayed call. Trevor Martin to the bench. There's a shot in front. 2 saves there by Babic. Rebound chance is loose. Babic makes the save again, and a little bit extra from Artur Cherkov. Poking after Boris Babic there. Whistle and a stoppage as it looks like Tucker Firth will head to the penalty box. Firth tried to let go of his stick before Gafarov hit the ice. Didn't let go of it in time. So 22 in the box for Carolina on a tripping call. Delaware, 1 power play goal so far this season, 14.3%, as they are 1 for 7. And Gafarov, who drew the penalty, has Delaware's lone power play goal. He's on the bench to start out this man advantage. Artur Aloyan comes into contact with Blake Peavy there. Puck rolls in behind the Carolina goal. Yuri Peshduka emerges victorious, and as a result, chips it out on the backhand 200 feet. That'll send Trevor Martin out to stop it for Delaware. Blake Peavy, Jacob Schnapp, Bryce French, and Justin Bioni. Penalty killing 4 out for Carolina. Houston Wilson tries to hustle after that, but the Thunderbirds reject it and go back in. Jacob Schnapp forechecking ferociously. A turnover. Martin in the high slot. Couldn't handle it there. Aloyan just got his stick back in the way and knocked that puck off of Daniel Martin's blade. Mikulchik drops back and finds Wilson. Up the far side wall. They'll try to move this one into an offensive area. Thrown back into the far corner. Cherkov emerges up the near side. Ivanov, left point, throws this one across. Wilson has it, top of the circle, snaps one towards the net. Didn't quite get to Babic. Cherkov's on it again. Does he want Ivanov at the point? Those two will switch spots. Thrown over Wilson. Wants the seam pass, and it's a little too far in front of Ivanov. Bryce French chips for Martin and back out through the neutral zone. Here comes John Batita shorthanded. Down the right side, Batita the shot. That one punched out by the blocker, Trevor Martin. 40 seconds left on the penalty. A little short hop there on Trevor Martin, but he makes the save. Tucker Firth in the penalty box right now for Carolina. 2 minutes on a tripping call. A little more than 2.5 minutes gone in this opening frame. Puck shut down to the blue line. Long shot, easy save there by Boris Babic, and a little bit more between Victor Grebennikov and the man that shot the puck, John Amanatitis, native of Montreal. There was some confusion as to the numbers being worn by the Delaware Thunder, the ones that they've rolled out with here tonight, a little bit different than what was on the league website. So I'm going to appreciate your patience as far as that's concerned. Offensive zone draw by the Thunder is scrubbed out by the Thunderbird penalty killers. Goaltender out to play it here for the Thunder. Jeff Burridge is back in deep forechecking. Bryce French off the far side wall, rejects and throws this one back around. That will free Tucker Firth. Carolina has killed off its first penalty of the game. Firth scurries to the bench and look out in front. A shot by Peavy, snapped just wide of the left goal post. Thunderbirds look to go back to work here after a minor hiccup early on. Delaware trying to get the puck all the way back out again. Jacob Schnapp plants a stiff shoulder. Jeff Burridge comes on to help. Schnapp's without his twig. Pass left there for Blake Peavy. High slot, hesitation, blind pass back there for Schnapp is intercepted by Amanatitis. Susi. Puck picked off by Blake Peavy. Out of the right wing corner, slams on the brakes. Uses the wall. Back up top, Braden Crow making his FPHL debut. Throws that one wide, and off the dasher it comes back for Gafarov. Lofting this one back out. Short hop for Bryce French. Escorts on for Blake Peavy. 16:07 to go first period. Thunderbirds chip this back in, and Dawson Baker closes off his check there. Makes an acquaintance back in the Delaware zone. Wilson Near side, Aloyan down the left wing, has some speed, lowers the shoulder and throws one up off the left shoulder of Boris Babic. Batita, yard sail over along the far side wall as Aloyan collided with the linesman. He's slow to get back up to his feet. Tucker Firth down the right side now. Thunderbird defenseman, wrist shot turned aside by the left pad of Martin. Firth back out of the far side, or near side corner rather. Delaware chugs ahead. Aloyan at the end of a long shift here. Puck is loose. Tucker Firth tries to move this up for his captain. Nothing doing, and the Thunder will pound this back in. Nearly 5 minutes gone here. First bank, first period. Gus Ford in the top line. Back out here for Carolina. Nice move. Tries to dart by, but he stood up there by Peter Kapik. And the puck rolls in for Trevor Martin. Whistle and a face-off. Gus Ford, no stranger to playing here in Delaware. Set some records in this building. He set the single-season goal-scoring record last spring. He became the first Thunderbird to hit 30 goals in this building. He would later hit 40 and establish a new record of 42 as back up top. Yuri Pashtuka hatchets a shot wide there. The puck will follow the curvature of the boards and end up back at center. Grebennikov finds his defense partner in Pashtuka. Drop back, Lucas Rowe, look out. Bellard almost took that away from the Thunderbird center. Some collisions in front of the Thunderbird bench. O'Reilly chips it back in. Boris Babic there to drop it off for Pashtuka. It'll be interesting to see the puck handling tendencies of Boris Babic. Mario Cavalieri very much apt to handling the puck last weekend. So the Thunderbirds will, they've got to get used to two brand new goaltenders. We'll look to see how Babic plays the puck and how frequently he wants to do so. Keplinger back at center. Deflected back in by Lucas Rowe. Had to change his body positioning there for the pass. Thunder regrouping at center. Josh Keplinger collides with Aloyan. Puck comes free now for Justin Pringle. Scored 2 goals in his Thunderbird debut. One of the Thunderbirds that played with the Kingston Frontenacs of the OHL. Aloyan collides with Keplinger. He's been throwing his body around a lot tonight as Josh Keplinger. Jeff Burridge picks this one up in stride, goes back to Daniel Martin. A shot save made there by Trevor Martin. He'll hang on, whistle, face-off. 13:49 to go. First bank, first period, no score. Back in 30 seconds. Face-off to the right of Trevor Martin. Thunderbirds have it off the draw. Justin Bioni lets it go for Burridge. Long shot. Thunder's wide. Firth on the rebound. A shot. Big save by Martin as he sprawls out from right to left and denies Tucker Firth. You saw the urgency there. Tucker Firth's had some great chances offensively so far in his brief Thunderbird career. Hasn't been afraid to let the puck go. And he's certainly proven his worth blocking shots in the defensive zone. Tucker Firth with the puck now. Lets that one go. It's off the outside of the goal. Jeff Burridge, follow-up chance. Kicked out by Martin. Another chance, and again, Martin able to absorb that one. Little tap on the shin guards for Alex Basie. Again, one of the bigger names here in Delaware, the Oshawa native making his season debut. 200 penalty minutes last season, just around the 60-game mark. Led the FPHL. The closest player to him, Justin Schmidt of the Columbus River Dragons, 12 penalty minutes off. He had 188 last year. Alex Basie, your penalty in minute champion of the FPHL 2021-22. Tucker Firth to start things off from the Thunderbirds' end. He'll double back as Aloyan staring him down. Look out, a turnover right in front. Aloyan tries to throw it back through. Not sure what Firth was going for there. A little confusion around Bioni and Peavy, who were the likely intended recipients of that pass. Peavy trying to soccer that puck back through center. He's getting a couple of shoulders there from Kapik. Thrown all the way back around. Puck taken here as Jeff Burridge throws a little bit of a check there off the far side wall. And it's Gafarov, the recipient. Movali going to throw this one back in for the Thunder. Victor Grebennikov gives chase. 12:40 to go. First period scoreless so far from Delaware. Grebennikov planted into the boards and a big save from Trevor Martin. He hangs on. Hefty, clean check there along that wall. Pierre-Luc Bellard comes shoulder to shoulder with Victor Grebennikov. Carolina defenseman pops back up. He's no worse for wear. Forwards line back out. Matched up with Bellard. Thunder able to win the faceoff. J.C. Moritz jousting with John Batita in that corner. Batita, who's now moved into the active scoring leader position for Carolina, 108 points. Leads active forwards, active players as Gus Ford's shot turned aside by Trevor Martin. And though he's not played very long for the Thunderbirds as Gus Ford, he's already climbing up that list as his shot ricochets off the toe of his skate, up over the netting, or over the glass, into the netting, out of play. 12:09 left in this opening period. As the faceoff comes to the glove hand side of Trevor Martin. Been busy so far. Carolina 8 shots already in this opening frame. We're almost about 8 minutes in as Victor Grebennikov tries to knock down this pass. Look out, a chance. Ballard, the shot saved by Babbitt, and he sits down on top of the loose puck. And a bit of an extra shove there as Dawson Baker escorts Joe Brennan from the pile. So just as we say, the Thunderbirds have gotten the majority of the offensive opportunities. Delaware gets one of their own. They've got that quick counterattack speed. And regardless of the recent history between these two teams, none of that matters. Delaware's a team that has given Carolina fits recently, even though the Thunderbirds did win the season series 9-1, and that one was in overtime last year. Look out, here's a 2-on-1. Lucas Rowe back with Josh Keplinger. Rowe to the net, a backhand shot turned aside by Martin. Rebound to the corner, thrown back towards the far side wall. Puck taken and skated back out. Wilson at center. Pocket picked by Lucas Rowe. Loose puck taken by Pringle. Little curl and drag to keep things alive. Pringle chips this one back in. Keplinger, and we are stopping play here. 11:31 to go in the first period. Perhaps an offsides. Perhaps it hit somebody in the bench. Our vantage point here in Delaware, we're actually stacked on top of the press box, although I guess I'm not really telling anybody who is watching this anything they didn't already know. So that's a bit of a blind spot down there right in front of the Delaware bench. We'll do our best to keep that covered for you. Puck loose at center ice. Josh Keplinger says thank you and turns this one back into Trevor Martin. Keplinger goes to work out of the corner. Thrown back in front as Pringle wanted to find Lucas Rowe, but he overskated the puck. Didn't know the pass was coming. Braden Crow able to flip this one on his backhand. Keep things in neutral ice. Keplinger tries to battle this one back in. The loose puck is bouncing. Alex Basie chops it up for Weber, and now Soucy down the far side wall. Stepped into by Bryce French, who is now without his stick as he's able to pick it up in time to make a play and move the puck back to center. Rose line has been out for a little while here. He'll head back to the bench. Grind line comes on for Carolina. Good timing there as Schnapp is able to take that one away. Just outside the Delaware blue line, and the Thunder trying to restart this one. Movali at center. Thrown back in, no icing, Justin Bioni. Former Pittsburgh Vengeance. Graduate of Kent State, played with John Batita for one season. Leading scorer for Kent State all time is John Batita. No stranger to putting the puck in the back of the net no matter where he plays. Here comes Delaware back the other way, long shot. Easy stick save by Babbitt, although he's throwing the puck up the far side wall. He didn't like where the rebound went. Great stick by Babbitt. He cuts off a pass that was right in front, intended for Cherkov. Tucker Firth tangles with Aloyan. Jacob Schnapp takes a bump and the puck held in. Movali shot, easy save there by Boris Babbitt. Uses the stick like a ramp and pops it up over the glass. 9:51 to go, first period. TV timeout number 2. Still scoreless from Delaware. Back in 30 seconds. Titus's line comes on. O'Reilly and Ballard out with him. J.C. Moritz with Andre Ivanov on the blue line here for Delaware. Gus Ford's line comes out with the defensive zone faceoff rather. They get the faceoff win, and Yuri Peshtuka for that puck as he is offsides. That puck took a very unfavorable bounce for Dawson Baker as Garrett Rutledge is talking to the Thunderbirds back on the bench. I mean, it's like when you get really good spin on a golf ball. It dug into the ice and took a sharp right turn there. That was a great play, as likely a set play. Would have been an odd man rush back for Baker, and maybe could have turned the Jets on and gotten a breakaway out of that. But the puck, as it often does, had some other ideas. Moritz. Pass back to him is deflected by Gus Ford, but it won't stall the breakout. O'Reilly for Ballard, shut down by Dawson Baker. John Batista spins away and he gets into some trouble. Yuri Peshtuka's got it near side wall. Outlet pass picked up in stride by Gus Ford, but he's surrounded by 3 Thunder players as Ford tries to get the body position there and create some space for himself. John Batista throws this one back out. Nice little spin move there by Dawson Baker. Along the blue line, Peshtuka, long shot deflected at the last second and chipped all the way back out. Racing back is Peshtuka. Would have been a 2-on-0 back for the Thunder had he not, and off the glass it's batted down by Baker. 9 minutes left, first period, still no score here from Delaware. Boris Babic and Trevor Martin doing their jobs quite well so far. Ford from the right wing corner, stepped into, reaches after the puck, reels it back in, not sure how he did that. Plays it on the back end for Bryce French, deflection in front, loose puck at the hash marks. Here come the Thunder back the other way. Susi, little give and go there with Houston Wilson. Down the right side, an easy shot by Wilson is gobbled up by Boris Babic. Extra shot there from Braden Crow. Not a particularly large fan of the man currently hanging around the net here for Delaware. Currently having words with Austin Weber. Again, one of those players who, on the league website, not given a number. He's wearing number 19 in black tonight, so we'll make a note of that for you as somebody takes a puck up high and rolls back out to center. Alex Basie's on it. On his backhand for Wilson, who's got to wait for Susi to touch up, and he does. Thrown all the way back down, Austin Weber chases after Braden Crow. Josh Keplinger has the puck, and he finds French. Could be an odd man rush, outlet pass, Lucas Rowe towards the net. He dekes, and a save made by Martin. Kicked it out with the left pad, no rebound, great save. 8:11 left in the opening frame. Fantastic outlet pass there. I believe it was Bryce French threading the needle there through center. Lucas Rowe, good job to knock that puck down. Kind of took it off the backhand toe of his blade. And a great save by Trevor Martin. Rowe just couldn't get the puck high enough off the ice. Cherkov back for Delaware. Winds and claps one. Easy kick save for Boris Babic. Cherkov on his rebound. Movali left point well wide, and Aloyan stumbling into Boris Babic. Tucker Firth not a fan of Cherkov's position in front of Babic. And so we will have new acquaintances made just to Babic's right. Aloyan wasn't expecting the shot that wide from Movali, as Lucas Rowe isn't done with Artur Aloyan. And the Thunder center was not getting up fast enough for Thunderbirds defenseman Tucker Firth, who tried to expedite the process there. All is settled right now, so neutral zone faceoff. Keplinger After the win by Rowe, Firth surveys his options and drops for his center. Lucas Rowe lowers the shoulder, bowls over the blue line, lots of stick handles, and wanted to throw that one back for Keplinger, but it's too far, so Bioni instead will take over and throw this puck in from neutral ice. Martin out to play it, sweeps it away from Keplinger, who tries to force a turnover and does, but he gets taken down, and play shall continue. 7:25 to go, opening frame, still scoreless. Keplinger back on his skates, and here comes Justin Pringle over the blue line. Pringle, left wing shot, that one off a skate. Boy, did that have some zip on it. Justin Movali's right skate deflected it out and out of play. Stoppage with 7:17 to go, and Garrett Rutledge voicing his displeasure with the referees on that non-call to Josh Keplinger. Offensive zone draw here. To the right of Trevor Martin, Blake Peavy. With Burridge and Martin, Jacob Schnapp will get the rest on this shift as Burridge in the high slot lets a shot go. That one knocked down in front, and Peavy was hunting after it. Martin's able to make the save and grab the rebound, and one of the Thunder in some considerable discomfort right now. Do they? Unless I'm looking at something wrong, Delaware's got two players wearing number 27. Whoever that was, and then Alex Basie. We'll put a pin in that for right now. Trevor Martin out to play this one. Thrown back around Joe Brennan. As Blake Peavy intercepts just inside the blue line. 6:55 to go as Basie, who is going to tap this one back along for Joe Brennan. Long shot up and over the bar. Victor Grebenikov kind of knuckled on him there. Thrown back in front, and the Thunder will break this one back out. Here comes Amanatitis. Long shot, easy save by Babic. He'll glove it and hang on to it. 6:36 to go here in the opening frame. Still scoreless. Offensive zone draw coming up here for the Thunder. It'll come to Boris Babic's left. Houston Wilson wins the draw. Off the wall it comes John Batita. Nice outlet pass there for Gus Ford to slip on by. He's got Susi after him, and he's going to try to skate past Alex Basie here. Basie holding off Gus Ford. That's drawn a reaction from the Thunderbird bench, and here comes Delaware back the other way. Flip back out, glove by Batita at center. Tapped on for Justin Bioni. Off the skate, and shin guards of Houston Wilson. Bioni in behind the net with 6:07 to go. Pass back through center, couldn't be flagged down by John Batita. He'll chop at that one, and look out, that'll pinball off of a handful of artifacts here at the Delaware Fairgrounds. Another offensive zone faceoff as Gus Ford not happy with the clutch and ground that Basie was given to him. Ford, a quick shot off the draw. That didn't miss by much. Trevor Martin may have gotten a skate blade on that one. Back the other way comes Austin Weber. He's shut down by Bioni. Tucker Firth will switch sides of the ice to help his defense partner out. He gets planted into the glass. Kapik over from Ovali. Long shot from the point, deflected off the stick of Baker and out of play. 5:44 to go, first period. Had some action at both ends of the ice. Babic and Trevor Martin staying busy so far. Take a look at the old Nick Williams shots on goal. 13-10 in favor of the Thunderbirds. So an eventful hockey game so far. No one will accuse this first period of being boring. Josh Keplinger takes a bump there from Gafarov as he stumbles into the boards. Martin taps this one back out, and off the dasher, here come the Thunder. Chirkov ahead. Trying to flank Dennis Gafarov as he'll swing back into the Thunder territory. One more time. Here comes Artur Aloyan. Little bump there with Bryce French as we approach the 5-minute mark. Braden Crow in behind the Thunderbird net. Aloyan back in behind, and you saw it looked like maybe for a second Gafarov was considering a Michigan of his own. Thrown back down low. Look out. Lots of room for Aloyan as he shakes one there. Past the far side goalpost. Aloyan again off the boards. Thrown back in front, and it's behind Babin, but not over the goal line. 4:53 to go in the first as Lucas Rowe jousting with Aloyan. Babic back on his feet. So is Artur Cherkov. Scoreless so far in the first period. 4:53 left in it. Back in 30 seconds. Artur Cherkov looks to have picked up a penalty after that last fray. Not entirely sure what the official booking will be, but Carolina to the power play here for the first time tonight. Lucas Rowe quarterbacking so far. One-time shot by Pringle. Deflects off the stick of Wilson. And we have solved the mystery of the two number 27s. Alex Basie is wearing your standard Delaware Thunder 27 jersey. J.C. Moritz has 13 on his back, which is how he's officially listed on the game sheet, and he's got 27 on the sleeves. So that's where that came from. So we hope that helps you out watching at home. Gus Ford will pick this one up after it was given to him by Boris Babic. Ford darts on through center. Keplinger has it down the left side. Pulls up at the top of the circle, spins away and finds Rowe, but gets it right back at the left wing hash mark. Lucas Rowe takes over again. Top of the circles, lots of stick handles. He switches off now for Dawson Baker. 35 seconds gone on the penalty. Artur Cherkov in the box for Delaware. Baker swings this one near side. Pringle back through the slot. A shot by Rowe against the grain goes wide. Ford now at the right point. Gus Ford inches down the right side. Gets it back here from Josh Keplinger. Top of the zone. Pringle, fake shot. One-time shot by Baker. That one thunders into the glass. All the way around it comes. Minute gone on the power play here. Carolina 1 for 5 to start the season, 20%. Ford finds Keplinger, and he'll swing this one back around. Top unit will stay on here for Carolina. They keep the puck in the zone as Rowe throws one for Ford. Right in front of the deflection between the legs by Pringle goes wide. Basie holds off Pringle as he was going back for the puck. Baker bats one out of the air, and Lucas Rowe on this one from the Carolina blue line. Ford has to come on to help him out, and here comes Dawson Baker with a full head of steam. Baker down the right side. Hesitation, wants the wraparound. He won't get it there as the defenseman runs his way. Here's Schnapp in the slot, and a big, great blocker saved by Martin. Rebound still loose, Jeff Burridge. Back up top for Firth. 13 to go in the power play. Burridge, left wing circle, lets it go, and that one deflects wide. Didn't look like Martin ever saw it. Collision along the near wall. Delaware throws this one all the way back out. Carolina in the middle of a line change, and the Thunder have killed it off. Back at 5 aside, both teams 0 for 1 on the power play. Here's John Batista, Thunderbirds captain, down the right side. Forced wide by Movali, back in behind the net. Jacob Schnapp is out there as well. He'll take this puck, and Blake Peavy will try his own hand in the near corner. Thrown in front, Kapik. Getting some wax from John Batista as Amanatitis can't chip this one back in. Loose puck swatted at by Bryce French. He can't clear the zone, nor can Tucker Firth. Amanatitis spins this one wide, and Boris Babic kicks out well wide of the net to move that puck into a safer area, i.e. the near corner. Thunder will emerge with this puck, but Babic knocks it down with the goal stick and covers. 2:08 to go, period number 1. Another defensive zone face-off coming up here for the Thunderbirds. Got some speed there on that last power play. Goldnick Williams shots on goal. 14-10 in favor of Carolina right now. Houston Wilson's line back on. Seen a lot from Austin Weber so far in this game. De facto second line right now for Delaware. As Daniel Martin's got this one back the other way for Carolina. Taps for Schnapp, pulls up, top of the slot. Schnapp back for Martin, can't settle it down. Peavy's the trailer, long shot blocker save. Rebound is loose. Taken back out here by Delaware. Austin Weber to center. Bouncing puck, lunging after it was Houston Wilson. Peshtuka says no. Back in front of the Carolina bench. Schnapp closes off his check on Susi. And Snoozy comes back over the top at Schnapp. Brought back ahead by Weber down the right side. Susi has collected his gloves. Babic collects the puck there. And Jacob Schnapp and Daniel Martin make sure Weber doesn't have anything more for Boris Babic. 1:33 to go. First bank, first period, still scoreless. And the 15th meeting all time between these two teams. Some suboptimal starts for both clubs last weekend. Carolina managing 2 out of a possible 6 points. Delaware losing both games in regulation to the Danbury Hat Tricks. So a fresh start here in the last weekend of October. A pair of games against one another and a home and home. Delaware opens their home schedule against the Thunderbirds, and then tomorrow night Carolina travels back to Winston-Salem to do the same, and Delaware will follow them. Back through center. Amanatitis, long shot, glove save, Boris Babic. Shot to a tough area just over the top of the pad. Low to the glove hand side, and it's handcuffed so many goaltenders so many times over the years. Babic able to make the save that time. Reinforcements come out. Garrett Rutledge keeping his lines intact here through the first period. Pringle's line is out. Grebennikov uses the glass. And he'll get this one all the way back down the ice, but not before forcing an icing. As Movali is back to touch this one up. Pick it up and move it 200 feet back down to our left. Josh Keplinger getting a little extra instruction from his head coach right now. It was that same set play as the Thunderbirds were trying to do earlier. Trying to use the glass to get it back out. Keplinger taken down one more time. Final 60 seconds of the first period. Tucker Firth trying to muster something here for the Thunderbirds as Keplinger sidestepped a hit from Movali that sent him into the bench. Keplinger throws one in front. Rebound was sitting just there for Pringle. He couldn't tap it home. Lucas Rowe behind the net. 43 to go in the period. Pringle taken to the boards by Movali. Aloyan is there as well, and he gets stepped into by Rowe. Keplinger knocks the puck down with a paw. He's got it in the left wing corner now. To the skates of Justin Pringle. Spins away from his check. Firth trying to work free. Puck is poked back out. Look out. Gafarov is after Grebennikov. 20 seconds left. Grebenikov's on it. One more rush for the Thunderbirds here in the first period. Pringle hits the line with Rowe, who's got the puck. Top of the circle. Long shot. Save made by Martin. No rebound as he covers it up with 13.6 to go. So a few more shots right here at the end. Another line change coming up for Garrett Rutledge's Thunderbirds. He'll leave Grebennikov and Peshtuka on. Victor Grebennikov, handful of assists on the opening weekend. No stranger to scoring early on in the season as Batista stepped into here by Moritz. Wilson run into by Dawson Baker. As time expires, this one will go into the book scoreless through 20 minutes. Not for a lack of trying, though. Old Nick Williams shots on goal through 20 minutes. 17-12 in favor of the visiting Thunderbirds, but nobody has been able to beat either goaltender. 20 minutes in the books. We'll send you to a break, and we will be back with more after this. Welcome back to Delaware through 20 minutes of play. Scoreless between the Thunderbirds and the Thunder. Second period brought to you by our friends at Flow Automotive. We'll start out just as we ended the first. Gus Ford starts against Houston Wilson's line. Austin Weber on his right. Alex Susi along the far side. Ford, Baker, Batita up front for the Thunderbirds. And away we go here, middle period on a Friday night in Delaware. Puck chip back around. Alex Basie gives Victor Grebenikov a bump. Wilson has to chase his stick down as Weber goes shoulder to shoulder with Peshtuka. Ford tries to spin this puck out of his own end, and he does. He's got some speed, but he's also got Houston Wilson following him around. Ford right up through center. Dawson Baker taps it on the backhand for John Batita. Pulls up at the left wing hash mark just off the wall. Alex Basie right after him. Puck is loose in the skates of Basie, and nobody can come away with it. Two Thunderbirds and two Thunder will chop after. Now it's Gus Ford down low to the goal line. Tries the jam play. Follow-up chance is loose. Somebody caught a stick up high. 45 seconds gone in the first. Delaware comes back the other way, and we'll have a stoppage as down on all fours right now. Tough to see which one of the Thunder it was. They're hollering for a high stick right now, and not sure if it was on the follow-through or it may have been somebody off balance. Tough to see if it was Ford who got the stick up high. Sergei Mikulchik heading back towards the bench. Still holding his face. So he'll go back for some repairs. Belarusian wore the C for his team over in Kiev, Ukraine last handful of seasons. Offensive zone face-off here for the Thunderbirds. Lucas Rowe's line is back on. Cherkov has a little bit more, and Rowe wins the face-off back for Tucker Firth. It deflects off of a body. Gafarov will swing back low in his own end, and he'll have to double back here as that puck rolled off the toe of his stick. Ivanov over for J.C. Moritz. 13 in black or 27, depending on which angle you're looking at him from. Thrown all the way back in behind Boris Babik's net. Off the dasher, Tucker Firth has his pocket picked there. Gafarov after it. In the high slot, knocked that one away, and here comes Justin Pringle. He'll let it go for Lucas Rowe. Reeling that puck in with one hand. Wanted to drop it back for Keplinger. Delaware all over that one. Arturo Loyan back with speed down the left wing. Slams on the brakes against Tucker Firth. Takes him into the boards, and now here comes Gafarov. Back up to the line. That puck may have come out over the blue. Stays in. Swung back in front. A shot maybe fought off there by Boris Babik. Trying to clear his own blue paint right now. Knocked down nicely by Justin Pringle. Outlet pass for Lucas Rowe. 2-on-1. Back with Keplinger. Throws it in front, and Keplinger couldn't get a clean stick on it. Pringle. Nice move. He almost shook that one away from Gafarov. Josh Keplinger diving after the puck. Can't get it away, and Kapik moves it through for Amanatitis down the right side. Sharp angle shot. Kicked out by Babik. Rose on the rebound. It's loose in the high slot. Look out. Batted down by Firth. Amanatitis hatchets that one off the left pad of Babik. Braden Crow tries to knock it down. Keplinger on another counterattack here for the Thunderbirds. 17:40 to go, first period. And an energetic shift there by the Keplinger line. Doesn't result in a goal, but the Thunderbirds, a bit of a surge there, and Peavy's line comes on to follow. Kapik for Amanatitis. Left side, Mikulchik. Taken to the boards by Braden Crow. Bryce French. Go toe-to-toe against Billard, and puck squirts out now for Blake Peavy. Crisply onto the tape of Jeff Burnage. Gets the legs moving through center, tries to go through Alex Basie, and he got the puck through him, but he couldn't get his body around him as Peshtuka crashes back down from the blue line to keep the play alive. French throws it around the horn for Peavy. Left it go for Schnapp, but Schnapp wasn't ready for it. Back from his own end, Jacob Schnapp starts the breakout. Thunderbirds switch near side of the ice. Look out. French has to come back alone in front of chance, and a save by Babik. Alex Susi got that one on a platter there, and Babik comes up with a big stop. 16:44 to go in the second period. Thunderbirds had the right idea there. Moving the puck over to the weak side of the ice. Bryce French, a bit of a mishandle. Good stop by Babik. Didn't look like Susi got all of that shot. Wilson against Gus Ford for this face-off, Thunderbird territory. John Batita has it. Quick outlet, Dawson Baker. Batita heads towards the net. He's got the puck in front. He just couldn't pull the trigger. Back in front for Baker. What a stop by Martin. Looked like it was going to be a wide open cage for Dawson Baker. Trevor Martin slides across, and not sure if it was a blocker or a glove or a stick or the knob of a stick. That puck was almost in the back of the net. Dawson Baker held without a point last Friday night. Followed it up with a 5-point, 1-goal, 4-assist performance on Saturday. Gus Ford tries to throw that one cross ice, and it ricochets off a skate out of play. And that is one of the factors of the FPHL, is you've got such a wide variance building to building as far as the way it's laid out. That puck stays in a lot of places. It stays in play in Carolina for sure, but in places like Delaware and Watertown, where you've got these low ceilings, that stops play quite frequently. John Batita from behind the net. Yuri Peshtuka pinching back in deep, the Thunderbird defenseman. Played just as much forward as he has D over his career, though. Baker back up top. He switches spots with Grebennikov, and Baker is chased back out to center by J.C. Moritz. Cross-ice pass off the hand of Gus Ford. You heard him kind of yell, ow, as that puck went off the fingertips, but he's got the puck right now. Gus Ford lowers the shoulder, slams on the brakes, throws it back up top. Point drive by Firth. Nice save by Trevor Martin, as Baker is bounced from one Thunder player into another. Got pinballed around there. Bounces off of J.C. Moritz, and nothing more after the fact. Rose line back out. We saw lots of energy from this trio on their last time out on the ice, as Martin's going to keep this puck moving. Turn it over for Keplinger. Sharp angle try. That one fought off by the Delaware netminder. Bioni back at center. Takes a bump. Amanatitis chips back in behind Keplinger. Lawrence University alum. Throws this one all the way around for Brennan O'Reilly. His number's sake, 28 in black. Lucas Rowe to start the breakout here for Carolina. Down to one knee. Slips past the man. Still has the puck after a bump from Ballard. Justin Pringle trying to reach after this one. Movali uses the wall, but Bioni moves it back now for Tucker Firth. Thunderbirds top pairing last weekend. To this point, looks like we've seen more of Grebennikov and Peshtuka. Now here's a move by Rowe to shake on by. Ran into two more Thunder players. And Lucas Rowe throws it back down low for Justin Pringle. Poked at by Ballard. Controlled by Amanatitis as he comes back the other way. Drop pass, wanted it. Shot rolls off the backhanded stick there. Wide off the toe of Movali. And he's in behind Bioni, rolls this one up the near side wall. Josh Keplinger, too far for him. Nikolchik will come back, and he'll touch up the icing. 14:32 to go. Flow Auto, second period. Still no score. Back in 30 seconds from Harrington. Just over 5 minutes gone here in the second period of this one. No entries on the score sheet, aside from a pair of penalties. Tucker Firth and Artur Chirkov in the opening frame. Defensive zone face-off to Boris Babik's right, making his FPHL and North American professional debut after a long time over in Europe in the Slovakian second and third leagues. Puck chipped ahead here off the toe of Josh Keplinger's stick. Gafarov back in deep here for the Thunder. Drop pass back for Alex Basie. Reinforcements over the boards here for Carolina. Aloyan Down the wing, tries to curl around Daniel Martin, and he can't do it. Throws that one off the back of Blake Peavy's skates. Crow quickly moves for French. Saucer pass back to Crow. For the C with Fredericton Red Wings, rather. Handful of seasons as this one knocked down in front. Crow played most of his hockey, at least over the last little while, in the NOJHL with the French River Rapids. 82 games there over the last handful of seasons as a turning shot from Burridge swiveled wide. Crow can't hold it in at the line, and Daniel Martin will come back to do so. Collecting the puck and finding Bryce French. Played only 4 regular season games with the Thunderbirds at the end of 2021-22 after he was released by Danbury. Came back in and played a playoff game at home against Watertown. Alex Basie to start the breakout here. Chipping it back in as he gains the red line. French back to get it again at the end of a long shift here. Bryce French taken to the boards by Brendan O'Reilly. 12:56 to go. Flow second period. No score so far from Delaware. First meeting of the season between these two teams as Moritz is without a helmet after colliding with Bryce French. Goaltender Trevor Martin will sweep this one on for a defenseman. Gus Ford kind of finishes a bump there against Ivanov. Baker throws a hit there into Moritz. Near side, John Battita was the intended recipient of that pass. The Thunder will chug this one back into Carolina territory. Off the wall, Crow wraps it. Moritz throws it back down behind. John Battita gathers along the near wall. Sidesteps a hit there. Amanatitis had him lined up. Battita shifts to the right, and the Thunderbirds have a breakout the other way. Ford across the blue line. Lots of room. Nice move. Gus Ford goes crashing into the net after he got a pretty clean shot away. Seemingly innocent collision there. 12:10 to go, second period. Just a handful of bodies headed to the net at a high rate of speed. No harm, no foul. But how many times can you really say that over the course of an FPHL season when you've got bodies headed towards the net like that? And usually when they end up in a pile, it results in some less than friendly discussion going on. Approaching the midway point of the second period, Viktor Grebenikov is lined up just outside the offensive blue line here for the Thunderbirds. Wilson uses the wall to find Weber. Lucas Rowe tries to force him into an uncomfortable situation. Kapik throws it down the far side now. Delaware into the offensive end pocket, almost picked by Keplinger. Now he does get the puck back and spins it off the wall. Lucas Rowe taps for the skating Justin Pringle. He's in full flight across the blue line. Pringle pulls up, hesitates. Nice move off the boards to himself. Little backhand chip. He gets taken down, and the Thunder's Susi throws it near side. Weber. Now it's Delaware's turn to come back with speed. Austin Weber, long shot, glove save. Babick, no more, except Houston Wilson getting back in deep and giving Boris a bit of a bump. Line change coming up for both squads. Lots of other FPHL action right now. Danbury, who, again, as we said, piled up a considerable amount of goals against Delaware last weekend. They're out to a 4-0 lead over Binghamton right now on home ice. Motor City 3-1 over Port Huron. They're quickly growing that in-state rival. The only in-state rival in that division, the Continental Division, as here comes Josh Keplinger. Tries to roll that one free for Pringle. Thrown back in front, just over the stick of Justin Pringle. Here comes Wilson, back the other way, lots of speed. Susi down the wing, stepped into by Tucker Firth. Loose puck, taken here by Josh Keplinger. Does he have the outlet pass? It's shut down by Basie. He wanted Lucas Rowe. Firth tries to pinch in and force the issue. Keplinger's going to have to come back to cover for him. Here comes Susi, drop pass, Weber. That one ricochets off Bioni. He's down in a heap. Play continues. Bioni back to his feet from the blue line. Basie's shot punched aside by Boris Babick. Bioni stationed in front of the net, hobbling. He's got that one leg kind of tucked behind him. He's going to try to scurry towards the bench as Rowe finds Jacob Schnapp now over the line. Nice pass back to Rowe, a little too far in front of him. Artur Cherkov gets this one back through to center. Rowe finishes a check. Arm of the official is high, and Delaware is going to have a power play coming up as Schnapp touches this one up. .10:20 to go in the second period. Lucas Rowe is going to take a seat for a rough. So a tough swing here for the Thunderbirds as all in one play. You see Justin Bioni go down after that shot kind of got deflected while he was spinning. Kind of right in the back of the leg where there's no padding, and then Lucas Rowe, the roughing penalty. Behind the play is Peshtuka. Chops this one back out. Jacob Schnapp shorthanded, staring down the goaltender and gives him a bit of a whack. Delaware has lots of time and space to break this one out again. Second power play of the night here for the Thunder. 1 for 8 on the season. Artur Aloyan. Left side, Weber pulls up, delays, finds Susi, right wing circle, hesitation, throws it backdoor and a shot. Somehow that one missed the net. The goal light came on, although that's, Wilson's got it at the point for right now. Back for Wilson, right point, long shot. That one deflected up and into the netting. Fans here in Delaware got a little excited for a moment there. Not sure exactly where that puck went. I believe it missed wide of the left goal post and ended up in behind the net off the glass. The goal judge threw on the goal light, and that's what brought the cheer of the crowd. 9:36 left in the period, and they're just about ready to drop the puck. But a TV timeout is scheduled. Garrett Rutledge pointing that out to the officials right now. Will we take it? Will we stay or will we go? No goal after the confusion there. A conference. I mean, we're basically taking the TV timeout right now. I guess we're just going to go for it. 9:36 to go. Second period. Offensive zone draw for Delaware. They've still got 1:15 on the power play. Ivanov gets it back. Right point. Throws it over. Left wing circle. That one deflects wide. Bellard. Out of the right hash marks. Ivanov, center point. Battling in front. Tucker Firth. He's lost his stick. A shot. And it goes in! Tough to see who it deflected off in front. Maybe Artur Cherkov. Garrett Rutledge is hollering that Cherkov was in the blue paint. John Batita's going to try to argue the same thing. Gus Ford's asking for a discussion as well. I believe it was actually Cherkov who was without a stick after the battle with Tucker Firth. Linesman's ready to drop the puck here at center ice. Garrett Rutledge hot under the collar right now. 1-0 Delaware. They convert on the power play. 1 for 2 tonight. Carolina behind the 8 ball to start. It's 1-0 Thunder. Bioni floats one back through center. Gus Ford's line is on. Pick the pocket of Basie. Swings this one off the boards for Batita. Shot punched aside by the goaltender Martin. And behind the net, Delaware tries to clear this one all the way back out. Bioni, long shot deflected by Batita. Off the glass it comes and back around to the far side. Susi crunched by Baker. Wilson comes back the other way here for Delaware. Tries to drive wide on Firth. Reaching out with a stick, but almost partially denying it. A shot save, rebound off the outside of the goal. Almost a clear-cut chance there. Great opportunity for Weber, and he missed the open cage. Now here comes Gus Ford back the other way, and a 3-on-1 for Carolina with Dawson Baker down the left side. A shot kicked out by the goaltender Martin. That'll send Weber back the other way. Intercepted by Peshtuka. He's got to wait for Baker to come back and touch up. Thunderbirds might look to complete a line change here. No, they'll stay out. Baker from the red line. Taps it for Gus Ford down the right side. 8:19 to go in the period. A shot and he scores! Gus Ford, a quick wrister up over the glove of Martin. Thunderbirds tie the game at 1. Great release by Gus Ford. He goes short side over the glove of Martin. Just an extra little hesitation there. Looked for a moment as though he would try to drive wide. 8:17 to go in the second period. We've tied the game at 1 here. Thunderbirds and Thunder. Ford's going to get the goal. Dawson Baker likely with an assist coming his way. John Batita perhaps another one. We'll wait for the official ruling. Amanatitis, as we're all square here from Delaware. Boris Babick out to glove this one down. Amanatitis with a full head of steam, bumping into Bryce French. As Braden Crow has to be separated from Bellard. As they've honked they've blown the horn a couple of times here. Trying to summon the officials over to the scorer's table. Not entirely sure what's going to go on here. Will we take that media timeout now? All right, so after 2 goals go in past the 10-minute mark, 8:06 to go, second period. Gus Ford has tied the game at 1 for the Thunderbirds. Back in 30 seconds. Dawson Baker and Yuri Peshtuka get the assists on the Gus Ford goal. Denis Gafarov and Andrei Ivanov. Well, Gafarov gets the goal, Ivanov the assist on Delaware's power play goal as Crow jousting back behind the play with the Thunder. That'll result in a penalty. We'll see who it goes against. They're chasing down Crow, and will they both go, or will it just be Brendan O'Reilly? It will just be O'Reilly. He got that extra shot there against Crow. So after Delaware scores a power play goal on their second power play chance, it's Carolina's turn to have power play opportunity number 2. O'Reilly on the high stick. Carolina looking to take advantage of this swing. Baker, Rowe, and Keplinger up front for the Thunderbirds on this power play. Justin Pringle and Gus Ford at the blue line. So 5 forwards out right now. Ford has the puck down to Rowe, and he gets it back over for Pringle. Under his stick, Baker's got to come over, finds a pass back for Lucas Rowe. He switches spots with Gus Ford. Has the puck now out of the right wing corner. Thrown back in front, wanted Baker. Knocked down there by Weber. They'll joust Ford, and Weber gets it down the length of the ice board. Babick out to play. They'll drop there for Lucas Rowe. Houston Wilson looking to complete the line change and get a fresh batch of Thunder penalty killers out there. Dawson Baker uses the curvature of the boards to find Gus Ford along the near side. Lucas Rowe, lots of time and space. Winds up and fires one. Nice save by Trevor Martin. He catches it off the cuff of the glove and pins it against his chest. Freezing the puck against the Delaware script there. 1:13 left on the power play. Brendan O'Reilly is in the penalty box for a high stick on Braden Crow. Second power play unit comes out for the Thunderbirds. Bit of a new look on it. Blake Peavy, John Batita, and Jacob Schnapp. Firth and Burridge on the back end. So again, a 5-forward power play unit for Garrett Rutledge's Thunderbirds. No surprise, Blake Peavy to take the face-off there, and he'll start things out now. John Batita gets the outlet pass. Batita blows a tire at the blue line, but it actually seems to have worked in his favor as he chips it back around off the shelf. Too far for Burridge. Rolling puck, held in by Firth. Over for Blake Peavy. John Batita in the bumper position. Back down for Blake Peavy. Trailing was Burridge, but he couldn't get the pass through. That was the intended target. Batita off the wall. Quick tap. Back down for Peavy. 33 seconds on the power play. Batita, Firth, center point. Lets it go. Save is made, and the rebound is non-existent. Moritz, not a fan of the extra jab there from Jacob Schnapp. Quickly removed from the doorstep. Moritz and Schnapp smiling at each other as they skate away. Both men understand either side of that argument. You're going to dig until the whistle goes, and then as soon as that goes, you're going to remove whatever defenseman or whatever attacking player is on your doorstep. Rowe inadvertently chops this one back for Monetitis. Might be a shorthanded chance for Delaware. Snapshot save. Babic rebound is loose. Thrown back in front. Babic makes the save. And as he dives back, he kicks the net off its moorings. Uncomfortable situation there for the Thunderbirds. Pierre-Luc Bellard throwing that one from back below the goal line. Great situational awareness. He knows that Babic kind of lost the rebound there for a second. So he had that opportunity to bank the puck off the goaltender as he moved back to the goalpost. This one takes an awkward bounce off a stanchion. Gus Ford is there. Throwing this one over now for Lucas Rowe down the far side. 5 seconds on the power play. Thunderbirds, as they throw it backdoor for Keplinger, a shot stopped by Martin. They're now 0 for 2 on the power play. This one goes off of Dawson Baker. Now he's in some discomfort. Trying to get back to the bench. Rowe throws it in front. Keplinger is there. Moves it back up for Peshtuka. Batita's on in favor of Baker. Rowe. 5:42 to go in the period. Thrown back in front. Keplinger trying to go after the rebound. This one swept back out to center. Knocked out there by Peshtuka. John Batita comes on back. Thunderbirds trying to get a new line out and completely get the penalty killers off, or the power play off, rather. Keplinger unable to beat Basie back for the icing. 5:26 left, second period. Justin Bioni and now Dawson Baker have taken some pucks off the back of the leg. Baker's sitting down on the Thunderbird bench right now. No worse for wear. As a broken John Batita stick is returned to the Thunderbird bench. Different looking line here for Garrett Rutledge in the defensive zone. Lucas Rowe with Keplinger and Ford as this puck out for Kapik at center, and a shot fought off by Babic as it popped in front. A shot and another save by Babic. Wasn't ready for that one. It squirted out in front for Susi. Peshtuka returns Babic's goal stick to him. Ford back the other way. Drops it off there. Grebenikov, long shot, punched out by the goaltender Martin. Ford with 5 to go in the second period. He's got the goal that makes it a 1-1 hockey game. Lucas Rowe circles the wagons here. Has possession of the puck, stops, wants the Michigan again. He'll shut that one down quickly. Just trying to keep people thinking as Weber throws his puck back out to center, pawed down by Victor Grebenikov. Out off the far side wall. Yuri Peshtuka bobbles this one, settles it down, throws it back towards center. Grebenikov steps into a man there, and Weber snaps a shot low and wide. On the loose puck is Blake Peavy. 4:33 to go, second period. Peavy against Weber. They'll give each other a couple of whacks as Peshtuka throws a hit there and a chance in front. Lots of bodies collide. Kapik right on the doorstep, and Babic gets the glove on top of the puck. 4:20 left in the second period. Still a goal aside as Susi heads back to the bench, holding his face after he got something up high. Back in 30 seconds to a tie hockey game. Second period from Delaware. Defensive zone draw coming up here for the Thunderbirds. Cherkov has Artur Aloyan right behind him. Aloyan out of Omsk, Russia. Played for Vernal in the Can-Am Junior Hockey League. Scored 74 goals, 78 assists for 152 points as Babic makes that save. 152 points in 38 games played last season. Thrown back out to center. Ivanov chips it here. So obviously a lot of offensive implications whenever Arturo Loyan's on the ice. 3 goals and an assist for 4 points in his first 2 games with Delaware. No points so far tonight. Bioni throws this one back over for Firth. Thunderbirds trying to work out of their own end. Daniel Martin back across center red. Hits the blue line. Waits for Burridge. Little chop shot towards the net. Hits the dasher in behind as Bioni finishes a check. Peavy forces the issue. Burridge trying to hustle after that puck. And he does so, and now gets it back out of the corner. He gets a whack across the arms. 3:27 to go. Peavy cranks a shot high and wide. Ivanov off the boards there for Moritz. Pass deflected, and Braden Crow, making his FPHL debut, makes the outlet pass nicely off the boards for Baker. He's just able to chop this one back in. 3 games on the road to start the season here for Carolina. They'll return home tomorrow night against Delaware, and then it's home against Danbury, their first 2-game homestand of the season next weekend. Gus Ford gathering speed through center. Finds Baker on his backhand, near side. Petita has some room. Tries to move out wide. Against the Monetitis. The skate of Bryce French holds the line, and his stick finds John Petita, but gets it right back. Long shot by French. Rebound popped awkwardly there. Nearly off of Gus Ford and into the net. Ford has the puck. Popped up into the air after a stick from Basie got it. Basie will stop back here with 2:24 to go. Two teams that have fostered quite the rivalry here, and it's always interesting whenever Carolina comes to Delaware. Off the near side wall, John Petita's going to knock this puck down. Drops it there for Baker. Has a lane. Dawson Baker, the shot fought off again by the right arm of Trevor Martin. That's the same spot Baker scored a goal last weekend. Bryce French takes down a Monetitis. And another penalty coming up here to Carolina. Monetitis picks up his stick, and Bryce French will take a seat in the penalty box. 2 for tripping to the Fairbanks, Alaska native. Minute 54 left in this Flow Automotive second period. Delaware 1 for 2 on the power play heading into this one. Monetitis had the power play goal. This one results in the corner. Peshtuka skipping puck back out off the wall. No surprise as Jacob Schnapp has been tapped to start out the penalty kill for Garrett Rutledge. Schnapp causes a bit of a traffic jam in behind the Delaware goal, and that's exactly what he's out there to do. Wilson back with speed across the Thunderbird blue line, and we got a whistle as Babbitt kicks that one back the other way, up and over the glass. Thought we had a whistle as they hit the blue line. Interference penalty to Alex Susi. So that will immediately negate Delaware's power play. Minute 29 to go in this second period. So we'll have a minute 35 at 4-on-4. It'll be 4-on-4 to the end of the period. And then a brief Carolina power play after the fact. Just 25 seconds. So lots of room out there on a smaller playing surface. No surprise as the Thunderbirds will go with some speedy guys. Ford, Firth, Lucas Rowe, Dawson Baker likely going to be the trigger man here in the offensive zone, but it won't matter because Delaware's got the puck after that face-off win. Houston Wilson. More speed back the other way. He drives wide here on Lucas Rowe. Wilson, a shot saved by Babbitt. He doesn't know where the rebound is. It's settled down by Dawson Baker at center. Skating into it now, Tucker Firth, the defenseman, and offside is Baker. 1:10 left second period. Lucas Rowe, a little confused on that one. He thought the whistle was for an icing call. He goes, "How is that icing?" And then turning around to realize it was offsides. Rowe to take the draw here. Flanked by Baker and Firth. Gus Ford is acting as the defenseman right now. Gafarov after the face-off win. 1 minute 6 seconds left in the period. Gafarov taking some stick work there from Lucas Rowe. Gets a chop from Basie as he heads back the other way. Gafarov driving wide on Rowe. Firth tries to step into him, but he slips on through. Right in front. Nicely deflected by Gus Ford at the last second. Otherwise, that would have been an easy pass in front. Ivanov Throws it back door, and that one just couldn't be handled cleanly. Sprawling after it, Amonatitis. Held at the line. Ivanov a shot, saved by Babic again. Rebound rolls behind the net. Rowe finishes a check on Amonatitis. 33 seconds in the period. 3-on-2 back for Carolina. They're at the end of a shift, though. Firth in the slot, wants to drop it off for Lucas Rowe, but it's behind him. He'll have to double back, and he throws a pass onto a Delaware stick. Rowe has it, gives it for Gus Ford. Lots of room against Basie. Ford a shot, save made, no rebound. Trevor Martin on top of the puck. 14.3 to go, second period. Ford and Alex Basie having another conversation. It was a busy first period for these two goaltenders. 17-12 the shots on goal in that first period. Brought to you by Old Nick Williams. 17-15 Thunderbirds in this second period. Grand total 34-27 in favor of the visitors. 14 seconds left in the period. Still at 4-on-4. Here comes Pringle. A shot. Blocked. Rebound. Oh, the save made there. Trevor Martin robs John Batista with the right pad. And now here's one more chance. 4 seconds. Houston Wilson nicely broken up by Keplinger. And that'll bring the second period to a close. Huge chance at one end of the ice. A broken play results in an almost goal from John Batista. And then a nice defensive play by Josh Keplinger. Shut down a quick break the other way for Houston Wilson. Got some goals in that period, though. Dennis Gafarov on the power play for the Thunder. Gus Ford at even strength just a few moments later for Carolina. 1-1 through 40 minutes of play. Third period coming up after this. Welcome back to Delaware as we get set to start the third period here. Carolina and the Delaware Thunder tied up at 1. Dennis Gafarov, a power play goal, immediately followed by a Gus Ford even strength tally, has gotten us to 1 aside. Some offsetting penalties at the end of the frame. 6 seconds at 4-on-4, and then a brief power play here for the Thunderbirds. So an important neutral zone face-off. Puck is down. We're underway here in the third. 4-on-4 is already done. 22 seconds on the power play for Carolina. Puck chopped along the near side wall. Tucker Firth does a nice job to keep the bouncing puck in. Only for a moment. Babick taps it on there for Lucas Rowe. One last rush on the shallow man advantage. Rowe with 3 seconds hits the blue line. Lots of speed. Tries to go through Alex Basie there. Doesn't get a shot away, and that puck pawed back down. Off the glove of Weber. Thunderbirds 0 for 3 in the power play now. Puck rolled back down. Icing waved off here as Babick's out of his net to spin this one away from Soucy. Tucker Firth takes a bump. Justin Bioni back on the ice here and back in action after taking a stinger off the back of his leg. Puck dropped off by Trevor Martin here in behind the Delaware net. Puck deflects off the stick of Lucas Rowe before being fired back in by Viktor Grebennikov. Martin to stop it again. Swept away from Rowe. Turnover. Look out in front. Birds the shot. Diving block there by J.C. Moritz. Peshduka chops it back for Jeff Burridge. Turning shot again. Into the gear of Jacob Schnapp. He's forced off by Artur Cherkov. Now Aloyan looks to counterattack for Delaware. Gafarov away from Grebennikov to the far side corner. Throws it back in front. Look out. Loose puck. Knocked down by Jacob Schnapp. Delaware still on this one. Gafarov, long shot. Saved by Babick. And Gafarov collides with Blake Peavy in the high slot. Nearly 2 minutes gone in the third period. Still 1-1 here. Held in by Delaware. Look out. They keep this one going. Gafarov in behind the net with Aloyan. Trying to inch his way back down low. Swept on for Novali. That one deflects off the glove of Babick and maybe the high stick of a Delaware player as well. Rolling puck back out the other way. First meeting of the season between these two teams. Going to play tomorrow night, opening up Carolina's home schedule as Babick makes the save and Brendan O'Reilly gives Babick a little bit of a bump that Braden Crow's not particularly fond of. Braden Crow still giving it to J.C. Moritz. And these teams will come together 2 times in the month of November. It's going to be a similar home-and-home scenario, but it's going to be Carolina who will have the home game on a Friday and then travel on the road on Saturday. Role reversal here from tonight as Baker blows up one of the Thunder players as he tries to get back in deep and grabbing the head of Dawson Baker there, Sergei Mikulchik. Play comes back the other way for Bioni at center. Tucker Firth, deep in Carolina territory, bounces off a linesman. Baker tries to stick this through for Gus Ford, floats it into an area. It's John Batita driving wide on Mikulchik, hesitates and fakes a shot as Bioni heads towards the front of the net. John Batita stomps the brakes and throws this one back. Batita held off by a diving Mikulchik. Ford back for Batita's got a lot of room. Hesitation, the shot, big save there by Martin. And the rebound is thrown back out to the blue line. Bioni controls from center red. Baker tries to tip it there for Gus Ford. Puck is through for John Batita in the left wing circle. Throws it into the slot for Dawson Baker. And the Thunder clear this one back out again. It'll be an icing call with 16:42 to go in the third. Lucas Rowe's line comes right out for Garrett Rutledge. Another good shift by the Batita unit. Mikulchik playing physically for the Thunder here. Braden Crow is about to head off the ice. He's going to stay out there with Yuri Peshduka. Puck comes back to Crow off the draw. Rolling puck. Throws it towards the net. Save made there by Martin. Right place, right time for Braden Crow. And now Rutledge will get that other defensive change. Viktor Grebennikov reunited with his typical defense partner in Yuri Peshduka. Pringle to take the draw here instead of Lucas Rowe. And the puck comes back to Rowe off the draw. Turns one towards the net. It deflects at the last second. Before rolling wide, and this one thrown back out by Susi. Using the glass again. Peshduka finds Keplinger. Near side. Pringle, lots of room and a rolling puck. Turns a shot there. Saved by Martin. Rebound loose in front. It's kicked away. Moritz to the corner. Peshduka keeps things alive. Glove down by Josh Keplinger. Now it's Justin Pringle rolling out of the corner. Slips it there for Peshduka. Lots of room. Right wing circle. Let's a shot go on that one high and wide. Nicely knocked down by Grebenikov, but he can't keep it on the Delaware side of the blue line. So he'll just have to drip this one back in. Martin there to play it. Thunderbirds for the line change here. Daniel Martin forechecking for Carolina. Puck off the wall from Keplinger. He'll have to sweep it back through. Chopped at by Austin Weber. Taken now by Keplinger. 15:45 to go. Third period. Gus Ford and Denis Gafarov still have the lone goals in this game. One aside. Last time Carolina played Delaware this early in the season, it was a pair of 8-3 victories at home in Carolina to open the year last season as Martin throws this one back in front. It's deflected back behind the goal. Blake Peavy can't get to it. Aloyan takes a bump as he moves his puck up for Gafarov. 1 against 2. Nice move as he sends Bioni flying. A shot there by Babic. He's turned aside, and again, another shot deflected in front. It rolls towards the net. Boris Babic pokes it away, and he gives a shot to Aloyan as he skates by. Jeff Burridge on the counterattack. He's out with Peavy and Daniel Martin. Nice move by Burridge. Tries to shake on by. A little bump there with Movali. Jeff Burridge behind the net throws it in front for Martin. He's got Tucker Firth. Has to spin to control the pass, and he threw it back in front for Burridge. Puck never got there. Aloyan throws it back in. It is steered off the goal stick of Boris Babic. Looked like he realized as he tapped it that he probably could have let that one go for an icing. It was rolling just wide of the net. John Batita controls at center. Coughed up. But Batita gets it right back, and he's going to have to reach out for this one. Amana Titus giving him a rough time at the blue line. But now it's Gus Ford for Carolina. Poked at by Billard. Batita the trailer, and he'll just continue to pinball back and forth in that center circle before Dawson Baker moves it away from O'Reilly. Gus Ford has his pocket picked in neutral territory, and this puck a little too hot for Ballard to handle. So again, Delaware now it's their turn to track back. Off the wall. Amana Titus chipped back in past French. Crow comes over to help his defensive partner. Uses the boards to give it back to French. Off the wall. John Batita tries to slip it to a soft area. Now Gus Ford's on this one. Ford slipping through again down the right side. Turned in front. And this puck is up out of play. Thunderbirds arguing it's a delay of game call. Referees saying it was deflected. 13:38 to go, third period. Still 1-1. We'll step aside, and when we come back, more from Delaware. Welcome. Coming up for the Thunderbirds, low-scoring one here. That is not the case elsewhere in the FPHL. Danbury up 5-1 on the Black Bears right now. Motor City has put up a 6 spot against Port Huron at home at Big Boy Arena. They're up 6-2 in the Prowlers right now. As Keplinger tries to keep play alive here, sweeping it back in. Trevor Martin drops it off for J.C. Moritz. Fans on the outlet pass. Delaware recovers, and Aloyan now through for Weber. Over the line, a shot off the pad and maybe the goalpost as well, in behind Boris Babic. That was a strange one. Peshduka finishes a check there, and Rowe slips his puck through for Justin Pringle. Quick area passes back the other way. Keplinger drops for Pringle, shrugs off Weber, and keeps on going. Behind the net. Peter Kapik sweeps it up the wall. Grebenikov holds the line. Rowe has it, has a lane, a shot by Keplinger, fought off by the goaltender Martin. Keplinger was hollering for that one, and by the time he got it, he didn't have a great angle. But boy, did he get a lot behind that puck. Icing waved off. Moritz to start things out. Held at the line. Onside. Pringle has it. Walks down Main Street. A shot and a glove save again. Trevor Martin bails out his team. 12:29 to go, third period. Game stays at 1-1 for now. Garrett Rutledge going back and forth between his top two lines right now. Batita's line comes right back out after the row line. Now here comes Gus Ford. Throws him in. Backdoor shot by Bioni. Blocked on its way as he pinched back towards the far goal post. Bioni behind the net. Lots of Thunderbirds below the goal line right now, and Gus Ford has it at the hash marks. Taps it back for Tucker Firth. Long shot, save, rebound. Puck is still loose. Nobody can get a clean handle on it. Gafarov back the other way for Delaware. Pass too far behind its intended targets, and Bioni finishes a check as the puck is chopped back for Tucker Firth. Gus Ford looks to be the outlet option. Puck skips off his stick. Cherkov looking to make life difficult for the Thunderbirds, and the puck bounces in the high slot. Dawson Baker back to rescue. Throws this one out for John Batita, who catches it in stride. Batita slips it back. Gus Ford is the trailer, and the shot blocked on its way, and it's up and out of play into the netting. Another one of those strange shots that you kind of lose track of there. 11:37, third period. Carolina leading on the shot board again after 40 minutes of play. 18-15 in that second. Right now, 39-28. And as always, shots on goal brought to you by our friends at Old Nick Williams. And the puck back in again behind the net for Martin. He's going to try to pull this one out and away from Jacob Schnapp, and he does so. Another skipping puck. There's a collision back down at the other end. That'll bring up another icing. 11:17 to go, third period. So we're getting some consecutive icings here against Delaware. Third line out for the Thunderbirds. Jacob Schnapp, 15 goals, 26 assists for 41 points last season. His rookie year, 51 games played. Hit 2 goalposts last weekend. Including the playoffs, it's been a little bit of a dry spell for him. Long shot by Grebennikov, punched aside by Martin. 12 games played since Jacob Schnapp last found the back of the net. It was April 1st against Danbury. He's gotten some really good looks, though. Schnapp playing the right way early to start the season as he throws another hefty body there in the corner. Schnapp's got the puck. It pops off his stick. Now here comes Delaware back the other way. Jeff Burridge on the intercept, slips it through to his center, Blake Peavy. Peavy darts by and throws a shot wide. Monetitis chops at Burridge, and Peshduka holds the puck before throwing it back in deep, and Blake Peavy forces a turnover. Thunderbirds in the middle of a line change right now. Keplinger joining the play late. Peavy keeping things alive, and off the boards. Keplinger, long shot, glove save by Martin, and he used the pad as well. Couldn't really control the rebound, and as a result, the Thunderbirds still have it in the offensive end. Burridge fights off a check. Puck off the skate of a Thunder player. Burridge throws it back down low. It is intercepted there by Mikulczyk. And Basie runs into Josh Keplinger. Back for Mikulczyk. Pringle forechecking for the Thunderbirds, and Delaware's beating the forecheck. Monetitis again blocked by Bioni. Pringle picks the pocket of Soucy. Here comes Keplinger back the other way. Far side row as we've hit the 10-minute mark here in the third period. Keplinger and Rowe working back in deep. Rowe can't pull it free, and here comes Wilson back the other way for Delaware. Number comes on to help him. He gets crunched by Tucker Firth. Boris Babic out of his net to play it. Look out. This one around the boards. Tucker Firth, shoulder into Weber. Turned over. Soucy, top of the zone. Turning shot. That one stung Justin Pringle as he's on to get the loose puck there. Keplinger off the wall. Pawed down by Moritz. Off the stick of Josh Keplinger. It bounces back for Tucker Firth. 9:27 to go. Knuckle puck there. Dipped at the last second, and it's flipped back out over the head of Lucas Rowe. Wilson spins away from the impending Bryce French check. He heads back to the bench, and Keplinger again uses the boards. Movali wants to keep things alive, but he can't do it. French almost worked himself into a jam there. He's just able to get the puck out of the zone. Braden Crow slips it back for French before getting it right back. Thunderbirds getting the line change here. John Batista down the right side finds Baker in the slot. Wanted one more pass back over to Lucas Rowe. Couldn't get it. Puck around the wall. John Batista in hot pursuit. Arturo Loyan has it down the wing. French goes down right in front there. A nice chance for Peter Kapik. Could not convert. Loyan goes back in deep against Braden Crow. Crow off the wall. Batista almost run into a high shot there. Glove saved by Babic. He'll drop it and keep play moving though. 8:24 left in the third period. Everybody expecting Babic to hang on to that. Outlet pass by French is knocked down just past the blue line. Fortunately for Carolina, here comes Gus Ford. Ford lost the puck, hatcheted at there by Baker. Ford a shot and he scores! Gus Ford, 8:09 to go in the third period. Carolina, the 2-1 lead. Ford lost the puck, and Dawson Baker dances back to the Thunderbird benches. Really all he did was just lean on his stick and just chop that puck back for Ford. So Dawson Baker has his second assist on his second Gus Ford goal of the night. Very nearly a disaster back at the other end for Carolina. Bryce French long outlet pass was knocked down just past the blue line. If it was inside the line, the Thunderbirds would have been in some real trouble. Now it's Peshtuka. Ballard came in with a full head of steam and just kind of clipped one of his teammates as he was trying to hit Peshtuka. He's in a bit of a rough condition right now. Peshtuka chaps it off the glass. Knocked down at center by Moritz, and Jeff Burns has his pocket picked by Ballard. Out to the far side, Ballard. Delayed offsides, he'll have to go back and touch up. Thunderbirds get a little bit of breathing room. Peshtuka with 7.5 to go in the third. Martin slips it through. Jeff Burridge, lots of room down the left wing. A shot, save made by Martin. He hangs on with 7:27 to go. We'll take another media timeout here. Gus Ford, second goal of the hockey game. Around the same time he scored his first in the second period. 7:27 to go, third period. We'll be back after this. Past the midway point of the third period, Lucas Rowe tangles against Houston Wilson for that offensive zone faceoff. Winds up back out at center, and now Soucy tries to move it away from Pringle. Boris Babic to stop behind the Carolina net. Weber up the wall. Kapik holds to the blue line away from the attacking Lucas Rowe. Shot saved by Babic, and that's really the first juicy rebound that Babic's really kicked out here tonight. Thunderbirds do a great job of clearing it back out. Soucy knocked down here by Keplinger. Turned over, and it's Pringle. Down the wing, Justin Pringle. Little hesitation there, slips it behind his own back, and again, there for Josh Keplinger. Keplinger handcuffed by Kapik. Keplinger taken down, and the puck rolls free. Rowe gives Kapik a bit of a bump there. Pringle, again, the move behind the back off the boards. He slipped it through a third time. Lucas Rowe throws it back in front. Too far, but Bioni holds the line. Off the stick of Soucy to the near corner, Lucas Rowe. Around for Justin Pringle. Pringle from the goal line. Thunderbirds working this back behind the net again. Rowe right in front for Pringle. Couldn't get a clean shot away. Now the Thunderbirds are gassed. They'll have to get back, and it's Soucy. 3 Thunder players hit the line. Would have been a brilliant pass back through for Weber. But it's too far behind him, and it goes all the way around. Basie has to scurry over before the Thunderbirds can finish a line change and take that puck the other way. Swept back in behind the Carolina net with 5:49 to go here in the third period. 2-1 thanks to a pair of Gus Ford tallies. He's got the puck right now. Ford down the wing, a shot saved again by Martin. That one may have fooled him a little bit. Moved his body quite a bit over from left to right to make that save. Outlet pass misfires here for Delaware. Peshtuka's back with Grebenikov icing and a faceoff. 5:27 left, third period. And after this weekend against the Delaware Thunder, look at the road ahead. Danbury comes to town on the 4th and 5th. And then Delaware returns again on November the 11th, Veterans Night. Back on the road in Delaware on the 12th, and then the Mississippi Seawolves visit the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex for the first time on November 18th and 19th. Mikulczyk back through center. Delaware looking to regroup here in their home opener, down a goal. Gafarov's pass was poked away by Gus Ford and chopped out on the backhand now by Dawson Baker. Alex Basie back for Delaware. They play pitch and catch, he and his defensive partner, as Basie kind of pops that puck up to himself. He'll wait for a safe outlet here. Artur Aloyan. Gafarov past Baker. Long shot deflects off a stick of Peshtuka, out of play, before resting back down on the playing surface. 4:40 left, third period. Third and final media timeout. 2 Gus Ford goals, one by Denis Gafarov. 30 seconds and we're back. Late push here being mounted by the Thunder. Pierre-Luc Bellard. With Amanatitis lined up behind him, offset. Thunderbirds win the draw. Tucker Firth tries to throw it over for Daniel Martin, far side. Jacob Schnapp chasing after the puck with Kapak. He's got Peavy headed towards the net, and Martin in the slot, a shot. Save made by the goaltender, Trevor Martin, for Delaware as he shut down Danny Martin. As now Martin's got his gloves free in the offensive zone. He wants O'Reilly. Play continues as Martin's got his gloves free. And a delayed penalty. Tucker Firth touches it up and snaps a shot back towards the net. 4:11 left in the third period. Martin wants O'Reilly. As O'Reilly won't drop him, Danny Martin heads to the penalty box. .411 left in the third period. John Batista arguing with the officials and having a conversation. Alex Basie comes over as well. Not sure exactly what went on there with Martin and Brendan O'Reilly. Martin in the penalty box again for the Thunderbirds. And a big swing here for Delaware. They trail by just a goal. They've got a power play goal so far tonight. Face-off will come to the left of Boris Babik. Peavy, Schnapp, Bioni, Tucker Firth. Top power play unit out for Delaware. Houston Wilson to center. Back at the point, Mikulczyk. Mikulczyk back down low for Weber, right wing circle. Austin Weber pirouettes away from Tucker Firth. Wilson back for Weber. Mikulczyk from the line, the puck popped up on him. Wilson walks in and shoots one, saved by Babik. Rebounds loose, a second chance. He shuts down Weber there. Jacob Schnapp uses the glass to get this puck all the way back down. 3:41 to go in regulation. Minute 30 left on this Delaware power play. Daniel Martin in the penalty box for Carolina. That's the minor penalty for delay of game. After hitting the eject button on the gloves and not finding a dance partner. Mikulczyk drops for Aloyan. Delaware looking to tie things up here late. Bellard, top of the zone, throws it towards the net, deflected, they score! Susi ties it, 3:14 to go in the third, brand new hockey game. Second power play goal of the night for Delaware. They're 2 for 4. Great patience at the top of the zone, Mikulczyk. And a solid deflection there by Susi. You saw him battling for real estate right in front of Boris Babic. Gus Ford's line comes back out here for the Thunderbirds. Firth and Bioni behind them. Yuri Peshtuka vocal on the Thunderbird bench, and we're waiting right now for a little bit of extra from referee Gordon Laws talking to the Delaware bench right now. Puck is down at center. We're back underway. 3:11 to go. 2 goals aside. Here comes Gus Ford. Got both Carolina tallies. Trying to knife his way on by, and Basie won't let him get a clean path towards the net. Here come the Thunder back the other way. Bioni steps into Weber. Puck is loose in the right wing corner. Gus Ford has it. Tries to slip it back through Basie. Ford takes a check there from Aloyan. John Batita comes over. Now the puck loose back through center. Gus Ford shaking his head as Bioni shovels one back the other way away from Wilson. Here he comes. Houston Wilson. Long shot knocked down by Bioni. 2:36 to go in the third period. From the blue line. Long shot knocked down off the leg of John Batita. Tucker Firth from the corner. Thunderbirds looking to stride back out of their own zone. Cautiously as they come. Gafarov on the forecheck. Look out, Tucker Firth. Almost took an ill-advised step back out from behind his own net. Dawson Baker coughed up at the blue line. Here comes Delaware again. Cherkov hits the line. Shot goes off the leg of Tucker Firth. Dawson Baker finishes his check. Back in behind the net. Gus Ford has it there for Carolina. Saucer pass back over for Tucker Firth as this game is inside the final 2 minutes. Again, turned over at the red line. Thunderbirds unable to move forward, unable to get a line change, as now they'll finally buy some time. Lucas Rowe's line is coming on. Weber stays on. Near side, Pringle. Down the right wing, forced off by Weber. Movali taken to the boards there by Pringle. Shot in front, knocked down, loose puck. Keplinger battling for it. It rolls free back for Grebennikov. Final 90 seconds of the third. Lucas Rowe along the far side wall. Tries to dart by Grebennikov. Pushes it back down below the goal line in Pringle. Pringle up top. Peshtuka, one-time drive, goes off the cuff of Trevor Martin's glove. Pringle behind the net again. Minute 12 to go. Pringle thrown in front. He wanted Lucas Rowe. Shut down. At the line, Grebennikov holds it and chips it back down for Pringle. This line likes to work from behind the net. In front for Keplinger. He can't get a clean shot away. As Movali hanging on to his stick in front. Trevor Martin makes the save with exactly 60 seconds left in the third period. Carolina, the 48-32 advantage on the old Nick Williams shot board. 13-5 here in the third period. Batita's line comes back out. Off the draw, Peshtuka. Long shot deflects off a shin guard and rolls behind the net. Basie is there. At the line, it's held by Grebennikov. Long shot deflects wide. Off the dasher it comes. Chipped back out here by Delaware. Peshtuka from the red line. Has to settle the rolling puck down. Makes a play up to his captain, Batita. Can't get a clean pass through. Ballard takes over for Delaware. 38 to go in regulation. Basie won't be forced into an option he doesn't like. Thunder slipped this one back through. Monatitis knifes over the line and it's taken away here by Gus Ford with 25 to go. He and Batita come back up ice. Thunderbirds do not have numbers. They're finishing a line change. Batita doubled up on by a pair of Thunder players. 17 to go in regulation. Ford has it back at center. No, not quite. Tucker Firth takes it away from O'Reilly with 10 to go. He floats it into the corner. It'll bounce there for Mikulczyk. And this game will not be solved in the 60-minute regulation period. Overtime upcoming for the second consecutive game for the Carolina Thunderbirds. 2 Gus Ford goals, Denis Gafarov, and then the late deflection by Alex Soucy with just 3 minutes left in the period has gotten both of these teams a point. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, overtime here from Harrington. Welcome back to Harrington. 5 minutes at 3-on-3. Delaware had both of their contests last weekend settled in regulation. Carolina 1-0 in overtime so far. 5-4 win, courtesy of Lucas Rowe last Saturday in Port Huron. The same unit starts out. Rowe, Baker, Keplinger. Houston Wilson starts things out for Delaware with Weber and Mikulczyk. And Houston Wilson will track back into the Delaware zone to start out here. Wilson winds up. He's got lots of speed as he comes against Baker. Wilson driving wide, forced out by Baker, tries to throw it back in front. Keplinger and Baker tie up with Wilson, and he's into the boards with 4:39 to go in overtime. Baker's not a fan of the play there. It will likely send Carolina down by a man, and if Lucas Rowe isn't careful, might get sent down by more than one. Wilson and Baker almost inseparable at this point, and Lucas Rowe's being shouted back to the Carolina bench by referee Gordon Laws. Wilson's got some more for Rowe. So the arm of the official was up. Dawson Baker receives a 2-minute minor for boarding here in overtime. 4:39 left in it. Delaware 2 for 4 on the power play. This is opportunity number 5. So down at 3-on-3, the Thunder will get an extra player rather than Carolina having one subtracted from those on the ice. Peavy, Schnapp, and Peshtuka, the trio out to kill the penalty here. 4:35 left in overtime. Puck pops out for Aloyan. Artur Aloyan over to Houston Wilson. Back for Aloyan. One-time drive. A great block by Jacob Schnapp. Soucy's in the crease. Long shot again. Fought off by Babic. Peavy gets the loose puck back out to center. Wilson back in Delaware territory. Winds up. Lots of speed. He's been the driving force for Delaware here in overtime. Near side, Aloyan. Basie's the trailer. 30 seconds gone on the penalty. Dawson Baker in the box for boarding. Soucy thrown back in front. It missed everybody. And it'll have to go all the way back out. Thunderbirds will keep Batita, Firth, and Pringle on. Soucy hits the line here. 3:48 to go in overtime. 1:08 left on the penalty, and a shot saved by Boris Babic. And no more comes after that. 50-32 the shots right now in favor of Carolina. Delaware on the attack right now for another minute and 6 seconds. They've got a power play. Tucker Firth, after a huge face-off win there, sends it down the length of the ice. Trevor Martin staring down John Batista in behind the net. I'll drop this one off. Now gathering a full head of steam. Gafarov hits the line with 45 to go on the power play. Drops this one back. Ballard, a long shot, blocked again by Tucker Firth. Few big blocks on this power play, or the penalty kill so far, rather, for Carolina. Ivanov, center point. Gafarov, left wing, inching in, long shot, set high and wide, off the glass. Ballard, 25 on the power play. Ivanov, Gafarov, back down low. Monetitis, back through, off the skate of Ballard. Top of the circle, 15 to go on the power play. Gafarov holds inside the blue line, walks in, hesitates, takes a shot, knocked down again by Tucker Firth, and he clears at the length of the ice before heading towards the bench. 4 seconds on the Baker penalty. Thunderbirds have killed it off. We'll skate at 4-on-4 until the next whistle. That's a huge penalty kill there by the Thunderbirds. As now Ivanov back at center, moves it for Houston Wilson. Wilson walks in and drives wide on Peshduka. 2:24 to go in overtime. Puck rolls just outside the Carolina blue line. Delaware comes back to regroup. It's Alex Basie. Peavy will scurry off for a line change. Wilson is still on here for Delaware. Drop back on and taken by Basie. 2:06 to go in OT. Amonatitis with speed against Yuri Peshduka. Tries to drag it towards the net. He runs into Gus Ford. Loose puck in front. Saved by Boris Babic. He hangs on. No rebound with 1:54 to go. As a little bit more, Wilson comes after Gus Ford. And Lucas Rowe is right there to meet Wilson again. Tucker Firth back out again. Not long after a busy shift. And the officials trying to remind everybody that it goes down to 3-on-3. So the question is, who stays out? Keplinger, Schnapp, and Tucker Firth. Jacob Schnapp's going to take this face-off against Wilson. Puck comes back through. Boris Babic taps it on there for Josh Keplinger. Wants the home run pass. He's got it. Jacob Schnapp, a breakaway in overtime, and a great save by Trevor Martin. He punches it out with the blocker. That'll send Delaware back the other way on the counterattack. Houston Wilson slams the brakes and slows things way down again. Drops it back for Gafarov. Long way to run against Josh Keplinger. Gafarov knocked himself off the puck. Aloyan has it here, top of the Carolina zone. Slips it back through. Gafarov at the blue line. Thrown to the corner. Nobody in red can get to it in time. Aloyan skating away from Josh Keplinger. Gafarov takes the drop back, and it goes over the blue line back to center. Final minute of overtime. Gafarov over for Alex Basie. Taps it off the boards. Here comes Gafarov away from Lucas Rowe. He's lost the puck, and Rowe finds Gus Ford. One Thunderbird against two Thunder players. Ford, he's got Rowe as the trailer. Ford towards the net. Nice move into the slot. He's still got possession of it. Ford throws it into the slot. Baker the shot. That one knocked down. Rowe will have to scurry back out to center to chase this down. 40 seconds in overtime. Ford trying to force the issue. Down the left wing as the Thunder are changing. Gus Ford forced up at the blue line. Throws a pass back over for Dawson Baker. Has his stick lifted there at the last second by Ballard. Ford's got to get back to the bench here. 20 seconds left in overtime. Ballard has it. Nice move. Little hesitation. Poked away by Dawson Baker at the last second. Away from Soucy, and he gets a knee-on-knee against Baker. 11 to go in overtime. Rowe back the other way. Curl and drag shot. Saved by Martin. He gets a whack at the goaltender after the fact, and Dawson Baker is still down on the ice. Dawson Baker has not been able to move since that collision. He tried to cut back, and as things always seem to happen, it's getting heated here in Delaware. Baker is back now on his skates, having trouble putting weight on that left leg. He's got 2 assists tonight. 7 points through the first 3 games of the season. He's back on the Carolina bench in some discomfort. Susi, he's out of the game. 5 minutes up on the board, but 7.9 left in the overtime period here. Fourth power play of the night coming up here for the Thunderbirds. Baker was cutting back towards the middle of the ice. And Susi met knee on knee. Both nights are likely done. Don't see Dawson Baker on the Thunderbird bench, and Moritz is out of the hockey game with 7.9 left in overtime. Offensive zone faceoff coming up here for the Thunderbirds. Keplinger, Ford, Rowe, and Pringle. One last chance here. See what they can make of it. Lucas Rowe to take the draw against Houston Wilson. A little bit more discussion between the referees. 7.9 left in overtime. Thunderbirds can't win the offensive zone draw. Weber chops it back out and down. Babic to stop it. Overtime won't be enough as Lucas Rowe takes a frustrated chop at the puck. Overtime begets a shootout. And so it comes down to the skills competition. 3 shooters aside to decide the hockey game. 2-2 through overtime. We're going to take a quick break and the shootout in a moment. Welcome back to Delaware. 2 goals aside through 60 minutes and overtime. And a shootout to decide the winner in this one. Carolina's first shootout of the season. 3 shooters aside. Back to the classic NHL rules. No more 5 shooters. And once you go, you're done. There will be no TJ Oshie shootout hero here tonight, scoring goal after goal after goal. If it's not decided at the end of 3 rounds, it'll be sudden death, and both of these coaches will just move on down the bench. And for the Thunderbirds, unfortunate because it is more than likely that Dawson Baker would be one of the players to go in the shootout. He's unavailable after that collision, so it'll be Lucas Rowe against Trevor Martin. Rowe, the right-handed shot, taking his time, swinging out from the left. Rowe sends that one wide. And it only makes sense that Rowe's nemesis towards the end of the game, Houston Wilson, is to follow him in the shootout. Those two had the spirited battle in the end of regulation and overtime. Wilson, again from the right, against Babic. Deeks hits on the brakes, and Boris Babic gets it with the goal stick. Lots of skating and moves there. Babic stayed with him, though, 6'2". Both of these goaltenders at 6'2" can cover a lot of net. Now it's Gus Ford for Carolina. 2 goals tonight. Let's see what he can do here in the shootout. Takes a similar path as Lucas Rowe. Gus Ford speeds up and he scores! What a move by Gus Ford! Slows it down, speeds it up, buries the puck. Carolina's on the board in the shootout. Terraloyan to counter here for Delaware. Again from the left, pretty steep angle here against Babic, and he fanned on the shot. Goes high and wide. So now Josh Keplinger has a chance to win it for Carolina. 17 games in the ECHL. Back for his second stint with the Thunderbirds. Had a power play goal last weekend. Josh Keplinger, game on his stick right here. Big save by Martin. It may have caught the goalpost too. So now the pressure falls. Pierre-Luc Bellard. Boris Babic looks to hold the door shut for the Thunderbirds. Bellard, first left-handed shot here. Swings it out from the right. Lots of moves and a save by Boris Babic. And he's got his first win in the FPHL. A tense one for sure. Lots of emotions in that. Boris Babic remains unbeaten in the shootout. And Gus Ford, his third goal of the game. It won't count towards stats, but boy, does it mean a lot in the standings. Gus Ford, 2 goals and the eventual shootout winner, 3-2 final score, Carolina over the Delaware Thunder. These two teams will try one more time tomorrow night back in Carolina. And for that reason, we, along with all the hockey players in the building right now, got to scurry on out of here, get ourselves together, because it'll be a 6:05 puck drop back in Winston-Salem. Thunderbirds will open their home schedule against the Delaware Thunder. That'll just about do it for us here. 3-2 Thunderbirds over the Thunder in the shootout. Thanks so much for being with us, everybody. My name is Dylan Clark. Good night, Carolina. We'll see you next time.